Spartans have struggled to hold off and outlast opponents all year long, battling injuries and demonic overtimes along the way. One and done season is here. Let the madness begin.
Costello with the rebound. Costello!
As we journey down the road of hopes and dreams to the Final Four and beyond. This
To Valentine. Got it!
This is March to Glory.
Good evening, everyone. Happy March to you, and welcome to another of our pre-NCAA tournament specials. This is March to Glory, and I'm Fred Heumann. Our 12th consecutive year of the March to Glory here on TV6, and we're proud of that and thankful to Michigan State Athletic and Communication Departments for allowing us access to the Spartans for the quality of this show. I hope you'll enjoy the next 59 minutes of NCAA basketball chatter. The Spartans boarded the bus for the airport and left for Charlotte, North Carolina right after practice this afternoon, and their March to Glory is underway. The team arriving in Carolina within the next couple of hours, eating a little pre-trip spaghetti. You'll have a meeting or two tonight. Players will rest. Coaches won't. They don't sleep this time of the year. It's game film and strategy and phone calls to coaching colleagues. You look for any edge you can at this time of the year. But this 2015 NCAA tournament has a little different dynamic, doesn't it, Coach?
I mean, anyone who fills out a bracket and doesn't pick Kentucky is doing it just to be different. Can you remember a tournament where you had Secretary here and all the other horses behind it like this?
That's a good way to put it. No, I don't. You know, in '09 when we played North Carolina, I think most people were picking them, but not like this. They weren't landslide picking them. And watching a little bit of Kentucky the other day, you know, you can see why. They've learned to play together now. They've gotten better as a team. But it is the NCAA tournament, you know, and March brings some funny things.
We'll take our first break here, but when we come back, we go one-on-one with MSU forward Brandon Dawson, nearing the end of his career and his education.
You know, I promised my mom that, you know, I would, graduate and get my degree. So, come graduation day, when she's there, my family's there, it'll be, a great time.
Yes, indeed, and what a great time Brandon Dawson is finally having in his senior year. We'll come back and talk with the graduating Spartan senior. Kevin Gale joins us up next. Kevin Gale joins March to Glory now after spending some time with this dynamic senior. Kevin.
To sample Brandon Dawson's feast or famine career, look no further than last Saturday's Big Ten semifinal. In the first half against top 10 Maryland, he looked lazy and sluggish. Then, after coaches called him out at halftime, BJ came roaring back to life with 17 points and 8 boards in the upset win. So how can a freakish athlete, born with all the basketball gifts the rest of us can only dream of, seemingly drift in and out of critical games? Well, I sat down with this departing senior to relive his complicated career.
You know, BJ, you and I have something in common. Our first week on the job, we were both at the Carrier Classic. I was just starting here in Lansing. You were just a wide-eyed kid.
My eyes lit up, especially when I saw the jersey, when I saw the shoes, I saw USA on the back of the jersey.
Have you thought back about how much you've grown since that first game?
Yes, that game, that very first game, it was amazing. It was just a different atmosphere, and just adjusting from high school, it was, it was kind of like, a dream come true. I was 18, I was young, and when I look back and reflect on, that time, against North Carolina in the Carrier Classic, it was just a special event and something that, I would never forget.
When you come out of high school as a McDonald's All-American, I'm sure coaches all over the country are making big promises. Tom Izzo was no different. What are some of the promises that he delivered on?
When I got here, he never told me anything wrong. I just love that family tradition about Coach Izzo. He cares about his players.
I'm wondering if that family attitude means more to you as a father than some of the rest of these guys. What's it like to be a Division I athlete with a child?
It's a lot of responsibility, but he's, it was just 1 year, so it's not like, he's been here for 4 years, but, it's been great. From him being up here, he's been great. I've kind of, bettered myself too.
When Russell Byrd became a father, he dogged you pretty hard in one interview. He said, I'd ask BJ for advice, but I'm not even sure he can change a diaper. Is that true?
No, that's not true. Russell, I'm sure Russell, he still doesn't change his diapers, but no, I just know his really.
Maybell's doing all that stuff.
Yeah, she's doing all the work, but no, really, his mom, she handled, the changing diapers. I've changed, a few.
Seems like Tom Izzo has talked more about you in 4 years than any other player.
For what he wants to get accomplished before he leaves here and what I want to get accomplished, it wasn't good enough.
He always wants more out of you. Why is it always you?
I really, I don't know, but I mean, I think, as far as, Coach Izzo, like I said, he just wants me to be successful. That's really the main thing, and, he's always going to push me, and, he just told me that, never be satisfied. So, after a big game, he always tells me, let's go out, the next night and, try to do the same thing again.
Torn ACL at the end of your freshman season, you lost that summer, the broken hand, illness here and there. Do you ever wonder if maybe some of these injuries set your career back?
I wouldn't necessarily say set my career back because everything happens for a reason. I'll just say it was just something to change me. It was just something to make me realize that I just can't take the opportunities and the blessing I have for granted. So it just made me just look at life more different.
What do you want your legacy to be here at Michigan State?
I just want people to remember me as just being just tough, and just love Michigan State as a Spartan, and I'm gonna definitely come back and visit this place when I'm old and everything.
While Dawson's dreams of a tough guy legacy may clash with his reputation among fans, even his critics must admit BJ's played his best games in the big dance, especially during last year's run to the Elite Eight. And if Dawson can dig deep to elevate his game again during March Madness, this lively 7 seed could turn a few heads while securing BJ's legacy as a tournament tough guy. Fred?
All right, we've seen him grow from a boy to a man during his stay at MSU. Thanks, Kevin, for that. When we come back, we go one-on-one with another Spartan senior.
Ever since I could even, see and run around, I wanted to play basketball. And I knew once, after going to my dad's games and just being around him, I knew this is what I wanted to do.
And Travis Trice has done just about everything Tom Izzo wanted him to do since he came to the Spartans as a raw, unproven freshman. Talk about an overachiever. He's made Dad and Mom proud. The son of a coach. He's a coach on the floor for Izzo. Audrey Dahlgren goes one-on-one with T. Trice up next on March to Glory. Mateen was the point guard leader of those early Izzo Final Four teams. The point guard in Tom Izzo's world is the epicenter of his teams, and this year's is senior Travis Trice. He has overcome remarkable adversity to be one of the top players in the Big Ten, and underrated if you ask me. Audrey Dahlgren joins us now after spending time with Travis this week for March to Glory. Hi, Audrey.
Hi, Fred. The road to becoming a co-captain and conductor of this year's Spartan basketball team didn't seem like it would even be possible when you look back at Travis Trice's freshman year. Not only did he battle a brain infection, but then he suffered 2 concussions his sophomore year. With a senior season that's coming to a close, he's had to watch freshman Lural's Tum Tum Naren take his starting spot at point guard. But for the son of a high school basketball coach, he knows there is no I in team, and instead of sulking, he's adapted quite well to his role as the Spartans' shooting guard, leading MSU currently.
And up the other way comes Trice to the rim. Trice for 2.
When you get a coach's son, Trav was going through his streak, didn't start him for a little bit. Just talked to his dad, Dad telling me about a guy that he's trying to do that with his own team. They get it. They understand it. You still got to put your father hat on, but I think you have a better understanding.
What did you learn from your dad and watching your dad coach?
I've learned a lot. The most I learned from him, though, was playing for him and the conversations off the court. With him being my coach, too, in high school, after practice was over, we'd talk about practice and games in the car, ride home, at the dinner table. We were just sitting around at the house watching film, preparing for other teams. So that's what I really learned the most from him.
What do you hope that people remember about Travis Trice?
I want them to remember me as somebody who cared more about others than himself, cared about the team, and I want to go out as one of the leaders to win a national championship here. There's only been 2 national championships here, and hopefully I can end and go out with one of those 2.
Trice and his fellow seniors have advanced to 4 straight NCAA tournaments, which include 2 Sweet 16s and 1 Elite 8, but have never made it to a Final Four. Fred, those seniors will find out Friday if they're one step closer to reaching that goal.
All right, Audrey, thanks. What a nice young man. Not really a point guard, as I called him, but a guard very important to Tom Izzo's team and scheme. Don't go far. You're coming back the next segment for a chat with another MSU backcourt member who ran track but preferred hoops. For the Spartan men, their NCAA tournament is T-minus 43 hours and counting now, and one proud dad Well, man, he'll have a big weekend watching his son play in the big dance. Carlton Valentine played at MSU, coached at Lansing Sexton, and hasn't stopped smiling since his son donned those green and white threads. You know what I just realized this morning? You wore 45 and you wore 45. Let me guess, that's not a coincidence.
No, not at all. No, not a coincidence at all. You know how that number got started, right?
No.
My mother was born in 1945. So I wore that number in honor of my mom, and one of my favorite players who played at my high school was Adrian Dantley. He wore number 45, so that number always had a huge significance for me.
Is it kind of a dream for you to play with your dad and mom 15 feet from the floor?
Yeah, you know, it's always a extra motivation, especially when I, you know what I'm saying, take the floor during warm-ups and see them, you know, in the stands every home game. A lot of people can't see that, or they don't have the chance to do that every game. So, you know, it makes me happy. You know, it makes me want to play harder every time I see them.
You look at them during the games, don't you?
Yeah. You know, I see my dad's facial expressions sometimes during the game.
Denzel's proven that he's a winner. He went to the state championship game 3 years in a row. He won 2 out of 3. And he came here, he knows what's a state fan. He wants to leave his legacy here. He's bypassed me tenfold, and that's what you want for your kids. You want your kids to pass you, and I want for him everything that he wants for himself and even more.
Yeah, they won 2 state titles together at Lansing Sexton. What a dream fulfilled that would be, to have Carlton watch his son lead the Spartans to a Final Four. His 2 years to try to do it. Tom Izzo, very busy man this week, but never too busy to sit down with me for our March to Glory. You know, we've done these interviews 12 years in a row now for the NCAA tournament, which I appreciate. But every other year, you've had a chance to win this thing. You're a realist. Do you have a chance to win this thing?
Well, with Kentucky, I don't know if anybody has a chance to win it. At least that's the way it looks on paper. But I think what's really important now, do we have a chance to make a deep run? And, you know, we're one of those teams that we've proven it. We can get beat by some people. Although when I say that, Fred, you know, we haven't been beaten by that many. We've been beaten by 2 or 3 teams that haven't gone to the NCAA tournament. So we've probably been more consistent and better than I thought. It's just that when you lose a game at a free throw line, when you lose a game like Sunday, you know, I think it doubles. It looks twice as bad.
You pulled a Sparky Anderson. You probably don't even realize you pulled a Sparky Anderson.
What did I do?
You called timeout to have your players sit in the huddle and absorb it. In 1981, when the Milwaukee Brewers beat the Tigers to move into the playoffs, the boys started going in the locker room, and Sparky said, "You sit right here. I want you to watch them celebrate so you know how this feels."
Really?
And I said, the scene you're seeing out on the field after the game, remember that scene, because that's what you play this game for. I hope today they learned how important that scene is.
Not why you did it, is it?
It wasn't because of Sparky, but I did do it for the same effect.
Talk about taking your wife to dinner, but you probably haven't for a while.
Nah, the anniversary didn't work out too good this year. You know, it's really, it's everybody wants to make it like I'm working so much. I mean, I do my job. You know, my job is what I got to do, and I'm going to work as much as I need to work to get my job done. I think I've gotten a little smarter, Fred, over the years, that I used to just be in here to be in here. Although when my wife brought a blanket and a pillow in early in the year this year, and she put it on my couch in there, I knew she knew that this year could be a little more taxing. So that was fun, but used it once or twice.
You sleep here?
I've done it.
Recently?
This year, you mean? Yeah.
Why?
Well, if you're working late, it's cold out, and you know, you got to get some stuff done. Got a nice shower in there, and you know, I don't do it. I don't do it like I used to do it. I used to do it all the time. I mean, Jimmy Boylan and I don't know if we had a house when we were here, but sometimes, you know what it does for me? It brings me back to the start. And sometimes I don't want to forget what it was like back then.
Well, I appreciate it. Good luck in your bracket, and maybe we can do this again next week.
Hey, you know what? I appreciate the 12 years, and I really mean that, because I think we've been consistent. You've been consistent, and I appreciate that.
Good luck.
Thanks, Fred.
We thank Tom Izzo for his time, and the Spartans, too. We thank you for your time tonight. We'll see you tonight at 11 on all the high school stuff. Enjoy your March to Glory. Thanks for watching.
This has been an exclusive presentation of WLNS TV6 Sports.